Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Condo to Cottage. It's Jessie, and I am out here today in a sweatshirt because it is chilly. So today is September 20th, and the last few days it has been in the high 30s here in New Jersey where we are. So like 38, 39 degrees. So it has been a very abrupt change to fall here. We went from, having some really warm days to I'm literally out here in like a sweatshirt and sweatpants. So it is a little scary because I mean, our first frost last year was not until way later, and I was able to get a lot of harvest out of my fall garden, and even my tomatoes from the summer were still producing. So I'm feeling the stress a little bit. I do have frost fabric, but we want to put together a hoop system to keep that over the plants, but we have not done that yet. So I thought we had a little bit more time. Apparently not. So we are going to be going on that hopefully this week in our spare time. Some places have already experienced their first frost, so I am like, oh my goodness, please not yet. We're just not ready. So I wanted to show something really, really awesome though in the beginning of this week's garden tour. So my father-in-law watches, hi Dave, during the pandemic, like a lot of people, he started up a different hobby. So once he retired, he had actually done some other things, and then that led into some woodworking stuff. So he actually, one of our wind chimes out on the back patio, he made the wind chime, and it's beautiful, great sound. We love that. It has a little chicken as I don't know the term, but the little thing that catches the wind. And then he started into wood carving. And so what he did was he took a video of mine, and he like froze the frame with my face on the screen, and then took another shot from the video of the chicken coop, and he took pictures of those and he turned them into line drawings, and then he had to do all sorts of steps to get the line drawing onto a piece of wood, and then he carved in what were the lines of the drawing, and then he went back and added paint into the lines. And I'm totally probably getting this wrong. I think I understand, but I'm having trouble relating how he did it. But what you wound up with was this really cool, and he's bashful about it, but I think it's awesome. It's this really cool wood sign of me and my chicken coop and 3 chickens on it. So check this out. It says Jessie's Chickens. Here you go, Dave. I just think this is so cool. It's definitely the most thoughtful gift I think, and I mean that I've ever gotten. It's like literally that coop is our coop. It even has the watering bucket and the trees behind, and the nesting box where Jimmy has been for the last several months now, and the ramp going up into the chicken coop. So I just think it's so cool. So thank you so much, Dave. Absolutely love it. And it will make a great addition to our little homestead here. So let's take a look in the garden and see what we have going on. Not a lot has changed. With these colder temperatures, a lot of growth kind of gets stalled. But the tomatoes that you do wind up getting, and the produce, whatever it is that you're growing, they're usually sweeter. So they're concentrating. When the temperatures get colder, they start concentrating their sugars a little bit more. And so you wind up with these really sweet fruit. The strawberries have been more active again because of those cooler temps. So let's take a look at what we got going on. All right, so let's take a look here. I actually just picked up basil. I want to plant into the soil, so I just got it from the grocery store because my basil is no longer with us. Still getting red tomatoes. I got a lot in here I got to come pick. And some of our bigger slicers are now ripening. So get some of those guys. Why did I start over there? What's going on? I'm breaking my patterns here. So here we have our crazy tomato patch. And I did come in here the other day and thoroughly pick a lot of the tomatoes, but there's still so many in here. And they're honestly hard to like see. It's just such a jungle. But we are going to be making baked cherry tomato pasta probably tomorrow because we have so many cherry tomatoes. And like I said, they're super good. The walls on them are actually a little bit thicker than normal. Oh my goodness, can you see the spider web? Yeah, that's not okay. I don't know what kind of spider that is, but not one I want to contend with. So I'm going to be very careful going in here. I do see little baby strawberries. I did pick some off here the other day. They were super yummy. Still have some flowers on there. So strawberries are loving this cool weather. And I feel like I'm in a jungle when I'm in this part of the garden. Look at this marigold. Oh, it is just like so gorgeous. I just love it. The flowers are popping. The color's just popping these days. So tomato patch. Then over here we have our beets and carrots. And those are doing pretty well. As long as this tomato doesn't encroach. And I did show you guys last week. I have some beans down here, and I'm just leaving the ones that are on here because I literally have like a few. I'm just leaving them. There's like one here to hollow out so that I can get more seeds. So I might as well save seeds because bean seeds are so large. It's like just literally a dried bean that you don't get as many in the package. Like when you get a lettuce seed pack, you get way more than I think that they put on the package because they're so small. But the bean seeds, you don't get as many, I think, extra. So I'm going to try and save more seeds. So beets coming in the little clusters, which is great. Carrots wound up like all washing down. They recommend actually using like a wood board, planting them and then doing a wood board. I didn't do that, but these are actually spaced out, I think, okay. Some of these are a little bit tight. So Lulu, what are you rolling in, girl? Oh, goodness. It's bath day for the dogs. And then, so, yeah, beets, carrots, some random tomatoes here, some purple potted pole beans, which are going all the way up to the sky. Ooh, this one's ripe. And these beans are actually not producing beans. Well, I lied. There we go. Getting little beans. Finally. Oh, look at these ones. Those are cute. All right, so that's good because they were kind of just slow. Check out this ground cherry. It's taken over too. And a huge web. Man, the spiders are insane. I don't see a spider in there, but I know that there is a large like wolf/garden spider. I don't know what it is exactly. I saw it the other day and its web is over in that corner. So I'm just going to avoid that area. But the ground cherries have been dropping fruit, so that's great. I'm going to come out here with my bucket later on and get some of them. I think that they are getting a different flavor too with the cooler temps. Very cool. This eggplant, no flowers, still has flea beetles on it though. This eggplant, trying to see if I see flowers. I see some buds. But this ground cherry is kind of taking it over, honestly. Separate this guy out a little bit. So, lots of flowers on this guy, but no eggplants yet. I don't know if we're going to get any before the cold. Now, this tomato has decided to completely grow over here. I think it fell. So, I'm going to kind of just take him and space him out because I did have what would have been broccoli is down here, but I don't think that they're really going to grow because of this cold weather coming in. But who knows? They might. So yeah, this tomato is way bigger. It's like had a growth spurt. I don't know why, but I'm okay with it. It does have some nice green fruit on it. Now, if we do get a frost rolling in and we get a warning, I'm going to probably have to come out and pick green tomatoes and try and either ripen them on the counter or in the windowsill. Or do something with green tomatoes, like maybe a salsa verde or something like that. Now, if you look, I already have some kale damage here. Let's see if I can... Something's eating my kale. Could be that white moth I saved a few weeks back. coming back to get me. But we do still have some good kale in here. So, but a lot of it's getting eaten. But the frost fabric will help if we ever get that on here. So that's this side of the garden. Tomato plants here still producing lots of fruit that the chickens like to get. Sometimes I get them if they're not too high, or if they're not too low, the chickens will get them. Nice green fruit here. Zinnia patch looking lovely as always. Really, they really love this fall weather actually. And over here, I had a bunch of lettuces. They're still, I shouldn't say had, I have. Just not as many germinated as I wanted. So they'll grow up and be decent amount there. There's a few. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So not a lot, but enough. And then I have more beets in this row, kind of in the shadow of it. And some other random tomatoes that are not going to do anything except grow and then die. So more tomatoes on this patch, lots of them actually, which is cool if they mature. Ooh, look at these. I'm going to pick these guys. One here. And then, of course, I forgot my bucket. They're scarred, but they still taste delicious on a tomato sandwich. And I think I have some over there. I see red too. So good tomato day. Coleus looking much more rehabilitated after the chickens almost destroyed it. And then these guys, of course, these blue cream berries, delicious cherry tomatoes. Looking great. Got a lot of ones I can pick from here. They go well in our baked cherry tomato pasta too, even though they're not red. It doesn't matter. They still have this really sweet, yummy flavor. You can kind of see the colors very nicely there. Then this crazy marigold and the peppers. I do have eggplant too. I just hope my peppers ripen before the frost, because otherwise I'm gonna have to come out here and pick green peppers, which, I mean, I'll use green peppers obviously, but not my favorite in comparison to red peppers. I did have an eggplant on the other side here. There's a little tiny baby down there, and then another one up. I can see it up around there. So do have some of those. I think the basil's ready to be picked and just tossed, but it does still have some flowers and the bees are still going to it, so that's why I left it in this long. Just might as well clear it out. So do have some of these jalapeno peppers that we can pick. So these are really good. They have a very thick wall. This guy's pretty big, and they're good for just like a good snacking pepper. So I'll pick those, and then I have this one Mira pepper that I'm hoping I get to ripen, because I just want to taste that one when it's ripe, and I haven't gotten to yet because I destroyed my other Mira peppers. So other than that, it's a bunch of green bell peppers, which I have to say I'm contemplating not growing next year. I think I'm going to do, my brother-in-law did these banana peppers, and they ripen so much faster. They're not hot. They're like a sweet banana pepper. And I think that might be the way to go, because they just ripen so much faster than the bell peppers, and you can do so much with them. So he did like roasted red peppers, and they were so good. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather have something that I can use more so than something that's just traditional for, you know, just for tradition's sake. So I'm thinking of doing banana peppers and these jalapenos, and possibly, if I like the flavor of the Miras, maybe just doing like 1 or 2 of those and 1 or 2 bells. But to have that much space taken up for the bell peppers when they don't really ripen in time, I don't know, it seems kind of like a waste of space. So I'm also, next year, I think what I'm going to do is, I did look into planting in this little patch back here, planting garlic and onion in the fall. So getting from, I can't think of the word, like discs, I can't remember what they're called, but planting them this fall, and then you harvest them in the midsummer next year. However, I've just doing some research. You can grow them from seed, and I think that, because what I was finding is that if I got them for fall planting, like the little, almost like a root, if I got that, I had to get them in large quantities. So I had to get like, 200 slips, that's what they're called. Onion slips, 200 garlic slips. And I was like, I don't need 200. And they're not like seeds, you can't, store them, from what I found. So I think I'm going to get the seeds, and then I think that would be more economical. And then the seeds you would just plant in spring, kind of like, I believe, when you would plant your lettuces and your kales and your brassicas for an early spring harvest. And well, you plant them around that same time, and then you harvest them in the summer. So I think that's what I'm going to try and do next year. And there is a little bit of a seed shortage right now. So because of COVID and everybody was home, which is fantastic that everybody decided to grow their own food, there are definitely seed shortages, at least in terms of like heirloom seeds or, seeds that are organic, stuff like that, which is what I usually try and get. So I'm trying to think of saving seeds now as well. So like, with the jalapeno peppers, I saved a few of them the other day, and now I have basically a whole packet's worth of seeds. I did save some of the ones from the Blue Lake bush beans, and the tomato seeds. Tomato seeds are pretty easy to save as well. You just have to let them soak a little bit so that you get like the gel off from around them. You just let them ferment, the gel ferments off. So you just keep it in a little like mason jar or cup with water for a few days, and you just kind of shake it up every day. And then after like, 5 days or so, you can take them out and the gel will be off of them, and then you can dry them out. So I'm going to start doing that now with my ripened tomatoes. I really wasn't in much of a seed saving mode prior to now, but now looking at seed shortages and stuff like that, I'm like, I might as well. It doesn't hurt to save seeds. So that is going to be the goal, and my focus for the next few weeks, after getting, some things cleared up in the garden. Look what Ted just did. What are you doing, buddy? You're stepping on my beets. The chickens are bad enough. Did you feel like you had to take their place because they're not out here to play? Ted. That's why we can't have nice things. All right, so let's take a look. Hi, Lou. Are you sitting in the sun, girlfriend? Let's take a look at the garden up front. Chickens destroyed a few of these tomato plants, as I was afraid of, but at this point in the game, it's okay. And because they just love to look at what they do. See what they do? They come in here and they dust bath and they kick all the dirt out, and then what I'm left with is just exposed roots, and they're a pain in the butt. The truth of having chickens. So since the frost is upon us, I feel like I should kind of see what's going on. Look, we have little potatoes. Little potatoes. Hey, that's enough to to throw into a little dish, little veggie dish. Here's another potato. Look at that. Okay, so we got another one. So it's a mini potato harvest from this little experiment we had, which I'm okay with. Cool. All right, so next year goal is to plant a patch of potatoes and harvest them in the summer as well. I just need to figure out the layout of where I will grow them in the big garden. So I need to really, we're going to try and put in a fence on this side that just blocks off this whole corner of the yard to protect from the chickens. So I should be able to access this side of the bed a lot more easily. And that side of the bed, I shouldn't have to like worry about taking this fencing down or anything like that. So I'm trying to, I think that the best bet will be to do things like potatoes, onions, garlic that you don't really have to maintain. You just like plant them and then harvest them. I'm thinking on this side of my trellises, because I can't get to them from the inside of the garden space, like over here. Then we won't have to have these chairs propped up against. So I should be able to like do the garlic and onions here, and then potatoes on the insides of those trellises. It's not going to be a lot, but it's, I mean, I need more surface area. But I do want to utilize the containers more too, because this was the first year with the raised beds, and so I had a lot of empty containers all season, which I don't need to have. So this corner I'm still going to keep as the brassicas, lettuce, and kale, because it gets so much shade in the morning that I think that that's why those plants lasted as long as they did. And then on that side of that trellis, I can do more potatoes as well. So, you know, it's a lesson learned, and which is awesome, because I wasn't expecting to even try and grow potatoes this year. And, you know, now I feel like I figured some stuff out with it. This tomato patch, still crazy, but you can see the path that the chickens take. They just kind of make their own path. So, right, girls? I'm going to say hi to the chickens since they're not out and about today. Hey, girlies. What's up? They're all enjoying some seeds. Beautiful sedum. We actually did, Seth put a whole net chicken wire around the split unit system, because when you have chickens, you really have to guard against them for anything that you value. And, you know, an expensive system, you do want to keep chicken proof and dog proof. So that is, that's that. So the sedum is looking really nice back there to this fall. It's one of my favorite fall crops. So hopefully this week coming up, ooh, that sun is killer. We're going to try and get the frost fabric up to prevent loss of further plants, and I need to figure out what's eating my kale. So those are my goals for this week. And, you know, getting the deck restained, which obviously is not very exciting. So, all right, you guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. It's a beautiful day out, at least here, so enjoy the weather. If you haven't liked or subscribed, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go dig for more potatoes with my garden hands, and I will see you guys next week.